Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to take a look at the AGL SAIYAMAN from the barbershop, one of the 5 barbershop EZAs that we just recently got, and he is of course the Super AGL variant. So if you've seen the other videos that I've done so far for these units, you basically know what I'm going to say at this point, but all of these units are the same. They all have a type leader skill for 90% to stats and 3 key. They all raise defense for 1 turn and do supreme damage on their super attack. Then they all get attack and defense 120 when performing a super. They get 30% additional attack and defense with 3 orbs. Then they get 50% additional attack and defense with 5 orbs. And then if you get 3 of their specific typing orbs, they currently give their type 2 key and 30% support. They'll give an extra 10% support if you get those 3 type orbs. And then the only thing that differs is that this early part of their passive, along with the 30% attack and defense from picking up 3 orbs, they also get some kind of unique ability. And for Great SAIYAMAN, his is that he gets a medium chance to dodge. So I've built mine, as you can see, just a mix of additional and dodge, 14 additional, 12 dodge, because they raise defense for 1 turn on super, and then he has a built-in chance to dodge already anyway, so a little bit of dodge on top of that to kind of help it out, because as with the other units, we've already talked about this in the previous showcases, these guys are largely going to be used as floating supports when you're running a significant amount of mono teams, or mono units, right? Now, when it comes to this guy, because Dokkan recognizes this Great Saiyaman as being Gohan, he's on Goku Family, Hybrids, Siblings Bond, Bond of Parent and Child, all very good teams. Obviously, Majin Buu Saga is still a solid team, especially with the buffs that he'll get during the anniversary. Special Pose Defenders of Justice, a bit all over the place, but he does have good links for those teams. However, his links in general are going to be the issue, and I'm finding that more and more as I record the showcases for these guys, that they really could have given them better links based on the teams that you're potentially going to use them on. Because as you can see here, I've made a Super AGL team that is mostly Goku Family, but I've brought some other supports and units that will link well with this Gohan, who just fit under this secondary part of the leader skill, Super AGL types, 3 key and 130. Well, obviously that makes this not exactly the optimal team to run for really difficult events. Now, you can see here, we share a couple of links with Gamma 2, who is actually a very good unit to be sharing links with, right? And Gamma 2 getting support from this guy is actually pretty good, because if we look at those specific links, Hero of Justice is a 25% attack link with built-in crit chance, and then Signature Pose is 3 key and 7% attack. They also share shocking speed, so they basically auto super when they're together, right? Because they get so much key as well as the links. Now, we can't get the extra support, but we can get the 5 orbs, so we're going to have our dodge chance, we're going to have our full stats. Kid Gohan here is providing extra defense as well, so he should be looking pretty good here. Yeah, 127k. Remember, he gets 120% on super, so with the 30% raise from his actual super attack effect, he's going to be well over 300k defense, and then because we picked up 3 orbs, he has a medium chance to dodge. So 4.2, yeah, that Defender of Justice link, look at that, and we got the crit from that link as well that I showed, that had the 5% chance, because as I showed you guys his hidden potential, mine has no crit. So he got the crit specifically off of that link, which is actually pretty good. So I do think this guy has an interesting build. I think out of all of the units, because you want to use them as floating support units more often than not, I think him having the chance to dodge as his 3 orb ability probably makes him one of the better units, because at this point I've already done the videos for Nappa, who gets a chance to crit, which, let's be honest, if you're running the unit as a floating support to buff your other physical units, their damage isn't really important, right? So him getting crits is not super important. And then we've done the Tech Krillin one, and Tech Krillin heals you at the end of the turn, which also can be very useful. If you're going into some of these harder events, somebody eats a super, even if they don't take that much damage from it, getting a nice little heal at the end of the turn is obviously very beneficial as well. So they're kind of a mixed bag in terms of whose abilities are the best. I think one of the next ones I'll do is Deborah, who potentially has the worst, because he has a chance to stun, which you're not going to be able to do in a lot of events. So now we have the Mini Saiyaman. They share Hero of Justice and Shattering the Limit. So if we do this, then yeah, we can get 4 links active here. And we're going to be able to get the 5 orbs, including 3 AGL orbs. So that gives everybody the extra little bit of support. We have 109k. Obviously, we're missing out on the, was it 58% defense support that Kid Gohan gives, which is pretty ridiculous. But he's still going to be, what, 250-ish, like 270 after the super attack effect as well. So all of these guys seem to cap out at around like 270 to 300k defense, depending on the support. But we've also seen quite different scenarios, right? Like Nappa, we were able to run him on a team where he got a 200% lead. Tech Krillin, his best team is going to be like a Tech Movie Heroes build, but then he's only getting 170 from the LR gods. And then Gohan, unfortunately, isn't really on any relevant 200% lead. He might not be on any at all, but he's not on any sort of relevant ones where I could pick out a bunch of really good Super AGL units. So we're running him under Super Saiyan 4 Goku's leader skill, which means he's getting 180%. So obviously if he was on a 200% lead, some of these numbers would be a little bit higher. In fact, let's float off the Gohan and Trunks. That is Goten. We're talking about Goten and Trunks here because they support Goku family or Vegeta family for 40% attack and defense. Obviously, they'll be a very good support unit to have alongside this great Saiyaman. It is good that they give him the categories and everything that a Gohan unit should get, because I know there are some other examples of characters like in disguise. I think Mighty Mask is one of the examples where they don't get a lot of the links and stuff, like the Tech Super Strike Mighty Mask. Even though I think does he have the Super Saiyan link? They're Super Saiyan in the art, but they're not on like Hybrid Saiyans or any of the categories you would expect like a Goten and Trunks unit to be on. So this great Saiyaman does get a little bit of extra boost by the fact that the game recognizes that it is in fact Gohan, because otherwise he would be in a pretty bad spot, I think. So yeah, they don't get any links together. Let's see, let's put him in slot 1. Putting him in slot 1 is a really bad idea, but I wanted to see if we could let's see how often the 30% chance to dodge will kick in, because we get the 3 orbs, we got the 5 orbs, so he's got his full passive with no support for defense. He's coming in at just under 100k. So I think, you know, as I've already said, it's pretty clear you do not run these guys as slot 1. Chances are you don't run them on main rotation either, but let's see. How many of these dodges can we actually get in? Wow, none. Well, there you go. So his 30% chance to dodge didn't exactly come in clutch, which is another reason why you're not going to be running these guys as slot 1 or potentially even main rotation units, right? Because at least after his super attack, he would have tanked these normal attacks for double digits. But as you can see, like having a 30% chance to dodge isn't exactly the kind of ability that you can rely on defensively. So even if you are running him as a 3rd slot flowing unit, you go up against a particularly hard-hitting tech boss, and then this guy could get absolutely destroyed. So the more I use these guys, the more disappointed I am with how they designed them. And obviously they're quite old, right? So you could argue that they were designed more for the other units that were around at the time, like in that meta. But like Super AGL as it stands now, like there's just not enough good Super AGL units to warrant running this guy on any of the categories that he fits on. So he really does seem to me just like another one of these units that could be really good for Battlefield, be a good sub-leader because he has the 90%. I always build my Battlefield teams as mono teams, but I've been building a lot of them as categories now. So like my Super AGL team, for example, is all Bond of Master and Student, right? So you can have like the leads are like this Kid Gohan that we've got on the team, the AGL, LR, Future Gohan and Trunks, and then every unit on the team is a Bond of Master and Disciple character that is AGL. So it's still a mono AGL team, but they're all being run under a category, so they're all getting at least like double 150 leads, which is really good. However, this Gohan, if we look back at his categories here again, he's on Buu Saga, Hybrid Saiyans, Goku Family, Bond of Parent and Child, Siblings Bond, Defenders of Justice, and Special Pose. Not many of those teams have like really, really top tier units that are AGL. So, I mean, they do obviously have some, but because this guy only supports AGL, those are essentially the only teams that you want to actually run him on. So let me heal here just in case we eat a super in slot 1. I think Gamma 2 would probably be okay, but he's not getting any support from Goten and Trunks here. So this should be the highest attack stat that we see, because I think we haven't had attack support. Oh, well, there you go. He did get supered in slot 1, but he's just like, nah, I'm going to take 0 damage from that, thank you. So let's go Gamma 2. I think, actually, I didn't realize until I put the team together, because you wouldn't think him not being another Goku family unit or not being another Hybrid Saiyan, you wouldn't necessarily immediately think of this guy as a link partner, but the links that they share are actually pretty good. It's just, unfortunately, when it comes to categories, they're not on, I think, any together apart from they're on Special Pose, aren't they? And they might be on Defenders of Justice, but those are two very, very like mid teams. And then again, the problem comes up that the rest of the team, there's not a lot of really, really good Super AGL units. So, I mean, Great Saiyaman, in terms of the numbers that we've seen him put out, I think he's possibly had one of the best performances out of these units that we've been doing the showcases for so far. It's just he runs into the same problem of not having a really, really good like AGL base to run around him on some of these categories that he's on. But you guys will have to let me know what you think down below. I feel like with the meta the way it is and how long they waited to give these guys their EZAs, I just don't see the use for them outside of Battlefield, because even like, for example, mono Super Battle Road stages, they could have been useful, but even the Extreme Super Battle Road version of the mono stages came out like, what, 2 years ago at this point? I can't even remember now. Ages ago, right? When it comes to Extreme Super Battle Road, maybe it's not quite 2 full years, but a long time ago. So unless you are a newer player, chances are you've already beaten all of them. So even if these guys would be pretty good for like Super AGL versus Extreme STR Super Battle Road, chances are you don't need to do that stage anymore. And it was done long ago. So Battlefield genuinely seems like the best place for these guys. We probably are going to actually finish him off here, but yeah, we can't get 3 Rainbow or 3 AGL orbs for the extra support. But oh wait, that's I put the wrong Saiyaman in slot 1. Well, anyway, there you go. So that's AGL Great Saiyaman. I think he's decent. I think he's probably better than Nappa, but I think Krillin is more useful overall. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.